watching QTV this morning, and I am Jenna Basonko. It's good to be back, and thank you for choosing this morning to accompany you throughout the week. Good morning. Ibrahim, why the laugh?
Can I show you something?
No, I don't want to see it. I don't. But anyway, how was your weekend?
Yes. So my weekend was good. Spend a lot of time at home.
Okay.
Doing one or two things.
Yeah.
I went out on Sunday. I was out running some errands,
Right.
and then returned back home.
But what are you excited about? Can you tell me
that's what I'm wondering
what you are excited about, Balde? Because I don't get it.
He must have had a great weekend.
Balde,
let's put it down
what's
to
up?
that.
I'm just happy.
Because there's something you wanted to show me.
No, it's all right.
It's all right.
So convention, I told you, what now? So, it's always lively.
Yeah.
To be with Jenna on the program.
Are you sure that is why you're excited? But anyway, I'm sure you had a good weekend.
Yeah, definitely. We are back.
For me, I actually
weekend.
had a flu. I had a really bad flu, yeah. Okay. I went to Sharab, so they gave me all these medications and stuff. Even my voice, has changed, but I'm getting better.
A pile of medicine.
Yeah, so Mr. Ade, how was your weekend?
My weekend was nice, quiet, and I was saying to somebody, I think Francis, I was telling, I said, Bala. I said, I don't think I've slept as much as I did
this weekend.
This Sunday.
That's good.
I think my body told me that, you know what, dude, you need to rest, you need to relax. Because Friday I worked quite late. I left here at 10:30 on Friday. Saturday, when I thought I was going to get away early, I didn't. I know Gajaga's coming later to talk about the football. But so, for me, that was the excitement. The manner of the victory over Kenya. So I thought I should mention that because that really did.
That was good.
It was fantastic.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Yeah, it was really a great performance.
And we saw that afterwards the team met with the Gambian community in Nairobi and they had a little barbecue and stuff. It was cool.
That was nice.
That was lovely. So it was a nice.
So how was your
Sunday.
weekend?
Yeah, like I said, I had a flu.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just I think there's a bug.
There's stuff going
around.
Or Julde as well. She had it, and you could tell her voice. She did 2 reports, and I thought, I wonder if I should get these revoices.
Yeah.
Because you could really tell
that this person has
has.
I think there's a bug around or something.
It could be.
Yeah, but I got some medication. So let's head right on to the newspaper review because we
let's
started late.
Let's do the proverb.
I'm afraid we will have to skip it.
I just want to know what Lobota is.
Because
I think we'll have to skip the proverb for 2 reasons. One reason being I don't understand it, and 2, we've
due to time constraints, we've already eaten about 13 minutes into the time, so we'll head straight to the newspaper review. The big news over the weekend that Talib Bensouda, applied to be the flag bearer of the United Democratic Party. He went through the interview. Obviously, their internal democratic processes requires that you apply, go through an interview, and then the committee decides, and also they have consensus as well, and then after that they take it further. So he came out, in a video posted on his Facebook and actually all social media platforms to inform the general public that he had met Usainu Dabo and then proposed to him that he can defeat President Adama Barrow come 2026. But he, the current Secretary General also highlighted that he will also be a good candidate to win President Adama Barrow. So he has withdrawn his application and also resigned as the organizing secretary of the United Democratic Party, kind of citing integrity that, lawyer Usainu Dabo should get somebody that he trusts, not somebody who wanted to occupy his position.
And which is the honorable thing to do. In fact, just before we came on air, on another media platform, somebody had commented that he had resigned from the party, and I said, no, he hasn't.
That's wrong.
I said, if you
it's good
listen to the statement,
to make that clear.
I said,
not from the party, but from his
position
as organizing secretary. Because let's look at it. If you wanted to compete and contest against somebody, and that person, and then you withdraw, or that person defeats you, either way, and then you are the organizing secretary for that person's campaign, if they don't win, people will always say, oh, you didn't try hard enough. Or you didn't do this, you didn't do that. And so I think for the kind of integrity of the process, I think he's done the right thing, he's done the honorable thing in removing himself, recusing himself. and saying, look, let somebody else take it forward, because like you said, the flag bearer might not trust you, and you'd feel a bit awkward.
You will feel
being
awkward.
the person who was, like I said, because anything you do will be looked at through a different lens.
Like kind of undermining.
Like is he undermining the flag bearer, or is he trying hard enough? So you don't want all that complication, and so remove yourself from.
So, Mr. Are Drame, what do you think would be next for Talib? On social media, you can see some telling him, go form your own party, I'll give you this amount of money to start up something. I mean, do you think that's the wise idea to do?
Before we came on air, I said it, and I'll say it on air. I think the current state of politics in the Gambia, unless you belong to one of the two, what are now the two main parties, NPP and UDP, I think nobody has a hope in hell of winning a presidential election in this country. And again, I said, it's not just in the Gambia. You find it all over the world almost. Even in Britain, it's Conservative or Labour that have formed governments since Second World War. Occasionally they've had coalition government. But generally, the government has been one of those two main parties. It is the kind of two-party politics that we've now come to. And currently, the two parties are UDP and NPP. So I don't think, and for the ones that want to say, oh, go and form a party with these other guys, all of those other guys also want to be president. So who's going to step down and say, oh, whatever. But in the general thing about what next for Talib, he's still young.
Well,
look at the age of the man.
He's contesting against.
So he's still young. And,
and there are other predictions that people tend to do. Okay, if Dabo is still the flag bearer of UDP, then Barrow got the chance to win. Sometimes these elections, you cannot predict them. I mean, you cannot predict elections like that.
You cannot, and again, at the risk of people calling me boring, I've said on this platform and other platforms, when Jammeh was defeated, trust me, those of us who were following the elections, we were shocked. We were shocked. But it took a coalition to defeat him. And so that shows you the possibility of a coalition and what a coalition could do. But like I said, for a coalition, people have to put their ego aside and say, we will all come together behind this one person. And how many people are willing to put their ego aside when they all want to be president?
And do you know, when you look at the margin on top of the UDP party, I mean the margin that the NPP won the elections of 2021, imagine if there was a coalition on UDP.
Yeah, I mean, there's various things when you look at electoral polls and you look at presidential polls. If you broke it down into the 53 constituencies of the Gambia, although the final percentage was not huge, Barrow won 45 out of the 53. So there were only 8 constituencies that he didn't win. So it was pretty comprehensive in that sense. But in sort of, huge sort of figure terms, when you just take the numbers, because of course you have Banjul, you have Kanifing, massive numbers of the electorate. Of course that is, it's a straight numbers game. Then, those ones count, because don't forget, both Banjul and Kanifing have UDP mayors, which shows you the strength of the party in those places. Brikama, the same. So those are huge conglomerates in terms of numbers of people. So you have to break it down into that. But if you took it in a straight constituency level, Barrow won 45 of the 50.
And also, I'm glad you pointed at social media, that people on social media are urging him to form his own political party. Generally, we've seen how social media has turned out to be a small community.
It can mislead. It can mislead.
It has translated. Just during the GCCI elections, we've seen the strong campaign that Saul Fraser, for example, has put up on social media, receiving endorsements from different social media influencers, big artists, and the list goes on.
And some of those influencers aren't even in
They're
the
not
Gambia.
in business.
They're not even in the Gambia.
And they are not registered with the GCCI.
Yeah.
So sometimes the people making the noise and putting forward endorsements are not the ones going to the ballot box.
I've said it many times.
Exactly. So congratulations to Mr. Nyundu Fati, who has emerged victorious in it. I didn't see it coming, personally.
Neither did I. I think we all got swept along with the noise.
Yeah, there was a lot of noise.
So that's why
even though I always try and treat it with caution.
I mentioned, I said sometimes these things, you cannot predict them.
Exactly.
You know, things can change, you know, just at
in
the
an
blink
instant.
of an eye. So if we all know many people were vying for a particular person, you know, so this
but
happened.
the people, those people, you know, might not even go to vote.
So don't be carried away by
media,
what people say.
And all of that.
I mean, we've seen it here in the Gambia with Esafal last election.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of noise on social media.
Yeah.
We saw it with Peter Obi in Nigeria.
Yes.
We saw it with...
Peter Obi was just too much, Mr.
We saw
Ade.
it with Bobby Wine.
Mr. Ade, the Peter Obi one, I couldn't take it. It was just too much for me.
It really was. But also the interesting thing about Peter Obi is that when they disaggregated the election voting, the youth vote was one of the lowest ever.
And they were
and yet all the noise they were making, coming out in the streets and so on, it was total rubbish. When you broke it down, something like only 19% of the youth vote that was possible actually bothered to vote. And in fact, in the whole election, it's one of the lowest, I think second lowest in Nigerian history, the turnout.
Wow.
It's terrible for all the noise on social media and all the, you know, and you know, the Western media always get swept along with this. You know, like, oh, this person, look at, oh, you know, did a Facebook and Twitter and TikTok and this and that. But, you know, the simple question they never ask is, do you have a voter's card?
Are you going to vote?
That's it.
Yeah.
And that's the question that should always be asked. And if you haven't asked that question, then, you know, whatever poll or survey you do is rubbish. Yeah. Really.
And and the turnout was quite good at the OIC. I saw clips, some videos of people, of the voters at the GCCI level. I saw some,
very well attended. And people, and it was a comprehensive victory for, you know, the winning team. You know, because people kind of, you didn't just vote for the president, you voted for the president and
the entire team, the running mate and everybody else.
So you had vice president, you had people, youth. I mean, one of the things I like, because I think we're going to have Mr. Fati sometime this week, is that I think they should engage with the diaspora more. I mean, a lot more than they do. Because I think the Gambian diaspora has shown that it is interested in what's happening in his country. If you took just remittances alone, they send, you know, I keep saying this figure, about $1 billion, $1 billion a year. So imagine if you could interest them in viable business investments and so on. What is possible. So I think they should have, they have somebody for youth. I think they should have somebody for
the diaspora as well.
Strictly.
But also, you know, well done to Idrissa Mas Diop, who was the president for the past
6 years.
6 years, you know, so congratulations to him. You know, very accessible, you know, for the media and all of that. And he's done well over time, you know.
6 years or more than that?
It's actually 10 years.
10 years.
It's actually 10 years. And I think one of his achievements is now GCCI having their own grounds that is working for them. They do not have to rent.
They don't have to rent. They can also rent it out.
Oh, it's 6 years. From 2019 to 2025. Yes. So it's actually 6 years altogether. So well done to him.
Because I think they have, it's a 3-year.
It's a,
They've also introduced a lot of things. The Kerjula challenge.
And during his time.
And so the person who's coming next has some big boots to step into, really. But the GCCI as an organization has been improving and been moving on.
And then luckily, Mr. Nyundu Fati has been part of the executive of Idrissa Mas Diop. So at least then he understood. It's just kind of like a continuation at the end of the day, which is a good thing. And there's a CEO, you know, the president is kind of more ceremonial. So obviously work is just going to continue smoothly, you know, as they go.
So we look forward to engaging.
We look forward to it. And then the point that you made, that, you know, the diaspora, you know, it's important that that is looked into as well.
They need to engage with them. I mean, this week, the Ethiopia is about to launch the Grand Renaissance Dam. And a lot of that has been funded by contributions from the diaspora, you know, when they were struggling to get. And then when these big organizations like World Bank, IMF, and African Development Bank saw that, oh, hang on a minute, the Ethiopian diaspora on their own have already raised 10 million in that time. Maybe this is something that's viable. And now the whole thing costs $3.7 billion. It's built. It's about to, you know, be inaugurated, much to the annoyance of Egypt. Egypt thinks they own the Nile. And you know, it's gone too far now to turn back. You know, it's been built. What are you going to do with it? Not
Nothing.
operate it? Of course you have to operate it. And so it's going to be inaugurated this week.
Yeah. So the last, about 3 weeks ago, Mr. Mboch was here and we were discussing about the agreement between Spain and the Gambia on taking, you know, people to Spain to work, you know. This is part of actually working towards ensuring that people travel through the right way, you know, curbing irregular migration, because the argument is that when I go to look for visa, they don't give it to me. So that, okay, let's come up with a scheme where people can apply for visa, and when they do, they go to Europe, work, and then they come back. So by the time that Mr. Mboch was here and we were having the discussion, about 4 to 3 people absconded. So Mr. Mboch was like, okay, we cannot measure the success of this based on 4 people absconding.
I think now we can.
You understand? So now the ministry is yet to officially confirm that 35 people, including the other people, have absconded. So at this point, we have, according to unconfirmed reports, we have only 4 individuals still working in Spain. So 35 be 37 be
how many people are still there?
4 people in your fathers.
4 people are still working, 35 are not.
35.
Because 39 went.
Exactly.
39 people went.
Exactly.
And 35 gone.
35 have already absconded.
Or forgot to go to work.
Or forgot to go to work, and then only 4 are left. So for me personally, I'm like, what are we trying to do? You are saying the government is not providing us opportunity. Now, we brought an opportunity, an agreement between 2 countries. You did not pay for your ticket. You are not paying for accommodation.
And you're getting 1,500.
You're getting 1,500 euros. And then everything is paid for by the Gambia government. You went there, and there's nothing you can do but to abscond. And then that is affecting the agreement, because, I mean,
the agreement is dead.
The agreement is dead. So your selfish interest for everybody else. I don't get it.
Well, but what's interesting about what you said there about selfish interest is that I know this is not scientific, but when we read that piece in the office, I'm shocked to say that many of my colleagues in the office said they would have done the same thing. I find really
Mr. Ade, that is the weirdest thing ever.
It's, you know, Gambia has developed this reputation. Again, I mentioned
absconding.
You know,
I'll tell you something. Probably
even Balde. I'm sure Balde is support, because Balde has that kind of mindset.
No, for me,
Balde is supporting the fact that they absconded.
No. For people like me, no, they should have come back.
Are you sure?
For me, to abscond, what? Go to someone's land and abscond.
But you support irregular migration.
No. I mean, what I mean is they have a reason why they are leaving using the back way to either Spain or Italy. But I did not support, because this is an agreement.
Exactly.
You understand? This should be honored, because it's going to stain the name of our... I mean, then, you know, if I tell you I have brothers that applied for that trip. You understand?
I know people
I have brothers that applied for that trip. So probably they've been on the waiting queue. I mean, now they will not get the opportunity. So I'm against it.
I actually know somebody who works at QTV who applied, believe it or not, but he didn't even, he wasn't even called for the
I know people who've applied as well.
But the thing is, again, I mentioned when I went early 2020 with the 6-a-side team, this was a competition run by Standard Chartered Bank. There were teams from all over the world.
Yeah.
The only team that absconded was the Gambian team.
That's sad.
I mean, that is shocking.
You know, absconding
we had from Zambia, Zimbabwe, Kenya.
And they were all normal.
Everybody
and you know what, Mr. Ade, I do not support people putting this on the government. For me, I will never accept it when people say, oh, because there's a lot of corruption in the country. Oh, they can be
but you know the problem is...
Fine. Things are happening. People might not be happy. It's hard on everybody. And when I talk about it, people are like, oh, Jana, but you have a good job. That's why you're saying this. Which good job? At the end of the day, everybody's... It's a good job, but what I mean is, Mr. Ade, what I'm trying to explain to people is we are all struggling. Yeah, okay? Everybody is struggling in their own ways. I'm not going to come and sit here and tell them my struggles. At the end of the day, it's just about trying to do something. With the 1,500 euros for 3 months, you can start up a business when you come back to Gambia.
And the thing is, there was a time when, I would get into panel discussions in England when Jammeh was in power.
Yeah.
And this thing has been going for 20 plus years. Gambians will always find a reason or an excuse
to say I have to abscond.
When Jammeh was here, he was the excuse. People would go there. I know because I saw some of these interviews. People were saying, "Oh, I was an activist." They probably didn't even know
Some of them did. Jammeh did not even do nothing
to them. Didn't even know they existed, but it was a convenient excuse.
Yeah, just being lazy.
Jammeh is long gone, and the numbers are not going down; they're going up. So it's never been about
So this is among our problems that are dragging. These are the problems that are dragging.
It's not about our government.
Yeah, so
it's about us as individuals.
And surprisingly, if the 4 are not even monitored, I mean, I don't think then the number would be 0.
No, don't say. I hope not.
This is
because they interviewed the team captain, and he looked so genuine. I don't think he will do this.
You cannot just look at a person and tell the person is genuine. Probably they'll be like, no one is left.
What
a shame.
I've mentioned before, the town of Hastings in England is twinned with, we have Hastings in Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
And also the town of Hull is twinned with Freetown.
Yeah.
And they sent 16 teachers from Hull to Sierra Leone for 6 months to, and then the 16 from Sierra Leone went. A month later, they were meant to be there for 6 months, teaching and so on and so on.
They ran away. They absconded.
They left all the schools where they were teaching. And
Africa, we have this attitude.
They've never been
and funnily, when I had the opportunity to travel to UK, I was young. I was younger, way younger at the time. That was like in 2020, just after the COVID hit. So I was still younger. My career was not very certain. I didn't know what I was doing. People were like, "You're going to UK. You have to
find a way.
Find your way. Find your way. Find your way. You have to find your way and also abscond." I'm like, why should I go to UK as a journalist? The same reason why I'm here is the same reason why I'm going to come back. If I want a visa, I'm just going to have to apply and then get it back.
But at least for you, you will be taking some sort of skills. I mean, almost all the ones that we have interviewed here at QTV,
they have no skill.
They've got no skills that they're taking over there. Somebody we interviewed told me he was an electrician. And I'm like, do you have any qualifications or certificate? He said, no. I just like, you think somebody's going to employ you in Spain?
You're not going to get them. And who's going to pay you what the 1,500 euros?
We've seen what Gambian electricians do in our people's houses, and they're always burning down because uncertificated people are the ones that you leave in your house, wiring to, So no, I mean,
everybody is feeling it, I don't like when people say, "Oh, you already have a good job." Like fine, you do, but everybody.
So
everybody's struggling in their own way.
Do you think we're still gonna start a chance of?
I doubt that.
You're about to ask a joke question, right?
There's no way this thing is going to continue for Gambia.
Well, it's crazy.
There's no way.
The only way this could continue is if Spain said, well, this is a way of bringing in some Gambians into the country, because obviously if 35 out of 39 abscond, why would you continue the scheme in
They're
that
not going to continue.
Country? It will be interesting to see what the situation is in other countries, because I know they're doing the same deal in Senegal.
I heard there's a success story with Morocco.
Right. Yeah, Morocco.
There's a success story with Morocco. Yeah, I think.
But it will be interesting because when he did his West African tour, he went to Senegal and Mauritania as well as the Gambia. Pedro Sanchez, the Spanish Prime Minister. And so it will be interesting to see because they struck similar deals with those countries. And it will be interesting to see what the numbers are.
What a shame. So this is very shameful, If you think about it.
Like I said, the colleagues up there are like, I understand. So for the people who are family members, they're thinking, you go for 3 months or whatever. Yeah,
it's okay, run away.
But then, 3 months you come back, you got nothing to come back to, although you would have made some money.
But you got money.
You got money. Come and invest in something.
But look, I've sat here and I've argued with Balde, who was telling me people don't have bread to eat. And yet that same person paid $2,500.
Ran away.
To
so there's no
trafficker.
Gambia
But
is
they don't have bread to eat.
I don't believe that anymore. Me too. I can't accept it. I can't.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The logic.
Don't listen to
just not there.
Well,
but Mr. Ade, thank you so much.
We have our reasons.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ade, for joining us on the program. Don't mind this guy. Don't mind him. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
It's a pleasure,
up next,
always.
we are about to talk about a very, very interesting topic, which is liver cancer. We've done a lot of stories on it. We've captured the statistics, and now, you know, we want to now have the real conversation about what is happening on the ground when it comes to liver cancer, because it's becoming very, very prevalent, you know, in the Gambia. Not just liver cancer, but just cancer in general, and they're quite related sometimes. So we will be joined by Dr. Sheikh Omar Bitey to actually talk to us about some of the challenges that they are facing in the healthcare sector, some of the things that we are supposed to look out for as Gambians as well. We'll be right back.
Q money e orange money Johnny we ni nuldugol mbudi mi yetoma Johnny ida wawi nuldude mbudi e rako Gambia do ya Senegal e Q money wallet maung e ko hon wonda e fadde mi yetoma uduto Q money account ma on Johnny fuddoda nuldude mbudi e teribe ma e wadon ka orange money nder Senegal fi yebugol hen ko labi ida wawi nuldude Q money customer care e 133 Q money suñu kalpe dum no yadi e sartaji.
Opticalia, Gambia's leader in optical care with 5 locations offering the best in visual health. With cutting-edge European technology, Opticalia delivers single vision lenses in just 20 minutes. At Opticalia, we care about our future. Eye exams are free for individuals under 18, ensuring everyone has access to quality eye care. But it's not just about vision. Opticalia also provides advanced audiology services to ensure your hearing health is in the best hands. Our audiology services offer European standard hearing aids and diagnostics, ensuring everyone can hear clearly. Whether it's testing or treatment, you can trust Opticalia for your auditory care. Opticalia offers European standard products, fair prices, and exceptional value all under one roof. Visit Opticalia at the Tropic Shopping Center near Spain-Gambia or call us on 7767-121 or at any of our regional branches. Banjul 7767-126, Brikama 7767-123, Farafenni 7767-124, Basse 7767-125. Opticalia, love what you see and hear.
Q money aning orange money ye bulodi nyola pour ka kodi kio sone yande ka bonan Gambia banko kan kata Senegal banko kan aning Q money wallet e ka mune batu e muna fan Q money account wala sign pour ka dati ka kodoki e terimal anila dimbayal kana aning orange money Senegal ni lafta ku Senegal sotola je Q money customer care commandi 133 Q money suñu kalpe ñing sartolle bala.
Q Money and Orange Money has just made money transfer easier. Now you can send money from Gambia to Senegal directly from your Q Money wallet. So what are you waiting for? Get your Q Money account now and start sending money to your friends and families through Orange Money in Senegal now. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Your banking the smart way with the new Aji Bank mobile app. Transfer money to any bank account in the Gambia. Top up airtime for all networks. Pay utility bills. Check your account balance and view mini statements. Request for ATM cards. Request for checkbooks and more in a single touch. So, do your banking in a smart way. Do your banking now with Aji Bank mobile app. Every time is banking time. Aji Bank, your investment partner. Q Money ak Orange Money ñoo lëkkaloo pour yombalal leen yónnee xaalis bàyyi ko Gambia dem ba Sénégal ak Q Money Wallet looy toog di xaar dawal léegi nga ubbi Q Money account pour nga mun a door di yónnee xaalis sa xarit ak sa mbokk yi jaarale ko Orange Money Sénégal léegi pour am si lu leer mun nga call Q Money customer care si 133 Q Money suñu kalpe lii dafa ànd ak sarta yuñ tëral. Money e Orange Money joni weɓini nuldugol mbuɗi mi yetoma joni hiɗa wawi nuldude mbuɗi iwra ko Gambia ɗo yaha Sénégal e Q Money wallet ma on eyyi ko honno wonɗa e fadde mi yetoma udduto Q Money account ma on joni fuɗɗoɗa nuldude mbuɗi e teriɓe ma rewa ɗon ka Orange Money nder Sénégal fi heɓugol hen ko laaɓi hiɗa wawi noddude Q Money customer care e 133 Q Money suñu kalpe ɗum no yaadi e sartaji.
Opticalia, Gambia's leader in optical care with 5 locations.
That short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. So like I mentioned before we went for the break, our next topic has to do with liver cancer, a topic that is very timely, that we should actually be discussing all the time due to the prevalence of liver cancer in the Gambia. We're joined by Sheikh Omar Bite, who is a hepatologist. Thank you so much for joining us on the program to have this discussion. Obviously, we'll open the discussion to English and then to Wolof, just to make sure that our viewers, grasp this very important information. Dr. Bite, thank you so much for joining us on the program once again. So why is liver cancer prevalent in the Gambia?
Yeah, thank you very much, Jainaba, for actually inviting us to this program. I think it's actually very important to actually discuss about liver cancer because of the things that are actually happening specifically in the Gambia. Specifically on the news and on Facebook, sometimes you'll actually see a lot of patients who actually possibly had liver cancer and they actually died.
Yes.
So I think it is very important for us to discuss this. Now, before just answering your question, I would just have to talk about how common liver cancer is.
Yes, the prevalence.
Liver cancer is actually the commonest cancer among Gambian men.
Yeah.
But it is also the third commonest among Gambian females. And liver cancer actually affects young people, specifically young men. And the median age of those patients who actually have liver cancer is about 40 years.
Wow.
So you see, 40 years is actually the productive life of an individual.
Yes.
That's the time when they are more active, they're engaged in a lot of activities,
yes,
work, occupation, and building family.
Yes.
So just imagine you actually get, somebody gets liver cancer in that family, and that individual actually dying.
Yeah. Leaving.
So how many people would actually suffer?
Yes.
So it's a lot of people.
It's a lot.
So it means that if that individual was married, the wife would actually be there to take care of the children.
Yes.
And if he or she had kids, the children will also be there. If you had the father or the mother dependent on that individual also, it means that would also be not there anymore. So this is how bad liver cancer is.
Yeah.
It affects a whole family. Now, the main issue, the main challenge, the main problem that is actually causing liver cancer, maybe before going to that, it's like I can just discuss to say that there are two types of liver cancer that an individual can actually have it.
Yeah.
One is like somebody having a cancer somewhere and that cancer actually going to the liver. So that is what we call secondary liver cancer. But there are other two liver cancers which we call primary liver cancers. I mean, those cancers, they actually happen in the liver. The cells of the liver actually causes some dysplasia or metaplasia, then actually eventually result in actually cancer. And this is what we call cholangiocarcinoma. Cholangiocarcinoma is one of the cancers that actually affects the bile ducts, you know. And hepatocellular carcinoma is one of the cells that actually, like the hepatocytes of the liver that are actually affected. So these are the two different types. So you can either have the cancer coming from somewhere, or going to the liver, or affecting the liver itself. Now the main driver is actually hepatitis.
Yes.
Hepatitis is actually the main driver of this problem. Now when we say hepatitis, hepatitis is just inflammation of the liver. When you have an infection, it actually affects the liver. Now, but there are different causes of hepatitis. Like you can have viral causes, which is the most common that we actually deal with in the Gambia, specifically hepatitis B. And also hepatitis C. But hepatitis B is our main problem in the Gambia. For hepatitis C is actually more of a problem in the developed world. Because that is more common in people who actually use IV drugs. Drug users, and etc. But for hepatitis B,
it's more of a developmental issue.
More like mother to child. Mother having it, giving it to the baby. So what it means is like, okay, if the mother actually has it, there is a high likelihood that it can actually give it to the baby during delivery. And that is where the problem is. For hepatitis C, you know, as I said, it's IV drug use and blood transfusion, other blood products. But for this hepatitis B, it's mother to child or child to child transfer. So that's where the problem is. And also, like some traditional practices that we do, like if we say ear piercing, you know, using one needle from one individual to the other, doing ear piercing, circumcision. You know, the circumcision that we do in the bush using one knife, because that is how you transmit it. You know, somebody has it, you use that knife or use that razor blade to cut that individual, then use the same razor blade and, you know, going to cut the other individual. So that would actually transfer the virus from one individual to the other. You can also get it by sexual relationship, sexual intercourse. Those are ways that you can actually get it. But it's not only about hepatitis B. Those are just the viral causes. I mean, I'm just telling you about the mode of transmission, specifically for the hepatitis B. And blood transfusion also. But the good thing about Gambia is like all bloods within the health sector, I mean, they screen them for hepatitis B and hepatitis C and also HIV. So at least that has not happened.
True.
The other thing is with regards to like injections, needles. Like somebody who is working in the hospital gets a prick. Maybe you are doing a surgical operation and you're operating somebody. That individual has hepatitis B, but you are suturing. Unfortunately, that actually touches you, you know, pricks you. That it means that the health workers are actually at risk. And even the blood, I mean, because you are collecting blood, you know, the blood that you are collecting from an individual, you never know, it can splash on you and stuff like that. And that's why the health workers are very, very, very much at risk.
So does this mean, for example, if a couple is supposed to get married, they have to go and check for hepatitis?
Yes. So that is one of the things that should be done. Because as we said, hepatitis can be transmitted from one individual to the other. But having it does not necessarily mean that you don't have to marry. You can marry.
No, but just
I'm just saying.
I'm
just giving
you
to check. Yes. Because you can get it, because I don't want people to say that, okay,
we cannot get married.
We cannot get married. No. Like if an individual has hepatitis B and wants to get married, they can marry. But what needs to be done is go screen yourself so that you know what you have.
Okay.
When you know what you have, if one of you actually has hepatitis, what you need to do is like, that individual needs to come to us.
Okay.
Okay, the one who is having hepatitis B needs to come to us. If you come to us, what we do is like to look at your liver and see whether your liver is actually affected or whether there is any problem in your liver or not, okay? And whether you need treatment or not. If you need treatment, we'll also give you treatment. Now, the spouse of that individual who is going to be maybe a male or a female, I mean, the one who is actually negative, what needs to be done for that individual is like, that individual needs to be vaccinated. Once that individual is actually vaccinated, it means that that individual is also protected.
Okay.
So it means that, yes, you can leave. I mean, you can have your sexual relationship, but the good thing is like, this individual who has the disease is being cared of, and this individual who does not have the disease is also been prevented.
So is it like a vaccine is available and anybody can be vaccinated against hepatitis?
Yes. Gambia is one of the first countries that actually had the hepatitis B vaccine.
Okay.
This was in the 1990s. We started vaccination in 1986, and we had nationwide vaccination in 1990. So by the time it was 1990, we have covered the whole country. The whole Gambia was actually covered with regards to vaccine. So anybody who was born after 1990, provided your parents were actually taking you to the vaccination clinics, there is a high likelihood that you have been vaccinated.
So I have been vaccinated?
Most likely. Provided, you know.
I'm not sure. When were you born?
Have you been going to...
I don't know. I was born in 96.
Yes.
No, the vaccine started in 1990. 1990?
Yeah, it started in 1986, but 86. We had nationwide vaccination in 1990.
So I was part of the nationwide vaccination.
Wow. So it means that since 1990 to now, everybody who is actually born in the Gambia has that opportunity to be actually vaccinated.
Yeah, so let's talk about the signs and symptoms of liver cancer.
Yeah, so that's why liver cancer is a silent killer, because you may not actually feel anything. Because as we said, the cause of the problem is actually hepatitis B. And hepatitis B, you can have it without having any problem, but you can also have it and it affects your liver. And that is what it causes in the liver. But you can have it without manifesting any signs or symptoms. So that's why we call it a silent killer, because it can kill. Because by the time you manifest signs and symptoms, it's actually gone to the terminal stage. So that's where the problem is. So what needs to be done is like, people need to be screened. So as Jennifer has said, like people who are going to marry, screen, go to the hospital, check, know what you have, whether you have hepatitis B, whether you have HIV and all those things. As I said, having it does not mean that we are going to prevent you from marrying. Okay, but we make sure that both of you are actually protected. And that is where our clinic is. But that's why it is actually a silent killer, because we don't want that to actually happen, because you may not manifest any sign or symptoms. Or by the time you manifest sign and symptoms, it's like it's actually terminal. Because the symptoms are more of abdominal pain and weight loss.
And that is when it's
abdominal
already
distension.
spread.
And that is when it is actually, at the terminal stage.
So then, even if it's not about getting married, if somebody wants to check if their liver is okay, how does that work? Like, what is your advice? Within what range within every 3 months, every 6 months, every year? When should...
Yeah, so, it's like, normally, everybody should actually have medical checkup every year.
Okay.
That's a normal routine.
It should happen.
Each and every one of us should actually. But Gambia, it doesn't happen like that. Like if it is Europe or Americas, you have a family physician who is responsible of different families.
They'll be sending you emails when the time comes to do certain tests.
And all those things, But this is not happening in the Gambia. But what we are trying to do at this point is like, because right now we have done what we call screening and vaccination among health workers. We have piloted this, because what we want to do is like, we start with health workers and medical students or nursing students, then eventually we'll go to the general population. Now what we are doing is like, we have piloted this, it's like to screen people, specifically health workers, and know who is positive and who is negative. And those who are negative, we give them vaccine. And those who are positive, we actually refer them to our clinic where we actually continue to check them.
Yeah.
Now, we are hoping that, because we have done the pilot in AFS stage, we are hoping that this would actually be a nationwide thing, because, you know, all these things, it requires some funding.
Yes.
And we are looking for funds so that we can do this in the whole of Gambia, because we had about 6,000 health workers, so that we screen everybody, all health workers, and vaccinate them. And, you know, those who need care would actually come to us so that we can actually care. So once we do that, then we can go to the general population.
Okay.
Now, the general population also is the same thing, screening and vaccination. Screen and vaccination. But one of the things that is happening now, specifically for pregnant women also, which is actually, because now the government has, under the Ministry of Health, the National Hepatitis Control Program, that is responsible for everything about hepatitis. And one of the things that they are doing now is actually screening pregnant women across the whole country, because we train a lot of people across the whole country, because as I said, it's mother to child.
Yes.
So we have to break that barrier. We know that our vaccine has been very well since in the 1990s, and the coverage has been very good.
Yeah.
But equally, if you prevent the mother from giving it to the child by making sure that the mother is actually giving prophylaxis, that is, okay, when you are pregnant, we screen you. If you have hepatitis B, then we give you medication. This medication will actually help to suppress the virus so that you don't actually give it to the child. Until after delivery, and once the mother actually delivers, I mean, that child is also given the vaccine. So it means that the likelihood of the mother giving it to the child is actually very, very,
so
very
quickly,
small.
before we leave, let's talk about success stories when it comes to liver cancer. Have we ever had success stories at the level of the Gambia, or maybe sent a Gambian outside for treatment with liver cancer to have a transplant, or, you know, chemotherapy? You guys, there's a way you guys do it. So are there success stories that we can point at least to give hope to individuals, you know, who have liver cancer out there, that maybe it's not always a death sentence?
Yeah. So I think the problem is, that's the unfortunate bit about liver cancer. It's difficult to say that you'll actually get a success story because of the time they actually present to us.
Too much.
Because the time they present to us is actually very late. So this is why what needs to be done is, like, yes, for hepatitis B, we have success stories. Like patients who are just carriers of hepatitis B, and they come to us and we take care of them. Like we give them medication, or those who come to us regularly for continuous monitoring. So you have quite a lot of them who, I mean, having hepatitis B does not mean that it's actually a death sentence.
It's the liver cancer now.
No. It's totally different. Hepatitis B, you can just be a long-term carrier. And majority of them are actually long-term carriers, about 90% of patients.
So if they're long-term carriers, when you say long-term, you mean long-term and later it translates to cancer?
No, they can live with it for the rest of their life without any problem.
Without any issues?
Yes. Okay. So it's only about 5 to 10% that may actually have liver cirrhosis or liver cancer. And so that is why it is important for us to know our status across the whole country. All of us to know whether we have hepatitis B or not. Because if you have hepatitis B, then we can see you. If you need medication, then we give you medication. If you don't need medication, we actually you have regular checkup every 6 months or every 1 year, so that we prevent you from getting liver cancer.
Dal Gambia,
no.
I
mean, we had somebody who was very proactive and very good, because that individual even set up the patient association.
Yes, sir.
I don't need to give his name. He unfortunately passed away.
Wow.
But he at least survived for more than 5 years.
Wow.
And this was somebody who actually brought the patient association, the hepatitis B, National Hepatitis Patient Association. He actually brought people together so that we can actually have this patient association, so that they can be talking to each other, and also to be helping sensitization and stuff like that. But unfortunately, because for him, it was not only the hepatitis B, he already had liver cancer. But he was very pragmatic in what because he wanted to leave something before he knew that he was going to die.
Yes, sir.
But before that, I must leave something. And that was what he left. He developed the constitution.
Gambia ñu ngi am léegi lifin agreement ak China dégg ma ne China bokk na si India
Yeah, so that's why the problem, you know, the problem, as I said, as I told you,
wow.
You know, if we catch them early by screening, that's not a problem.
Transplant muntaneka.
No, you can get transplant if you get you early. But most of the patients that we are getting in the Gambia are terminal cases. So that's where the problem is. So if you come at a stage when it is actually terminal, I mean, the median survival is like by the time you have it and by the time you actually die, is actually about 45 days.
Wow, legi bi dina ko wax ci Olof docteur bi tay because xam nga lu tax Gambia dama bay xel dara ci suñu health sector bi. Especially ci liver cancer yi, cancer in general. Patient bi su ko amé mu leer yen for example comme li nga wax xam nañ ne it's terminal. Waaye ngeen leen lay wax ne dem leen Dakar. Su ko defee the burden of going to Dakar, the financial burden it puts on the patient and the patient's family. Feka koku sa xam nañ ne du ko make, but then sometimes encouragement bi daf they come from the medical personnel. Di la wax ne demal Dakar te you already know ne sometimes patient yaa de forcé dem.
Du ko make.
Am na yeenay moom docteur bi daf ko dee wax family bi ne leen lii du mun a dem. Waaye family bi xam nga rek neexul nga gis sa waajur o sa mbokam muy dee you like miracle can happen. Waaye sometimes hospital bi docteur bi fa nekk moo leen ko dee wax.
Yeah, so I'm not saying that maybe that does not happen. Sometimes that may actually happen in some occasions. But like if you come to somebody like me who is a specialist in that area.
Exactly.
I mean, what we do, because you know our culture is not like, okay, this individual has liver cancer. You tell that individual that this is your problem and this is what is going to happen to you. You know, because of our culture. So what we go around it, talking to that individual who is very close to that individual. Like if it is the husband and wife, maybe it's the husband who have it, then we'll talk to the wife. Or maybe if it is brothers and sisters, we realize that this one is the one who is actually always bringing him or her to the hospital, then we talk to that individual. Because our culture, the way our culture is, if you tell somebody that this is what you have, and this is what is going to happen to you in the next, you know, I mean, 1.5 months, cultures are different, and we have to be very clear.
We have to,
you know, what happens in Europe does not actually happen in here.
Yes, true.
Okay?
True.
So we have to be very clear. We have to know what is within our system. Because sometimes the experience I have is like, even if you tell them,
they will not listen.
No, if you tell one of them, I mean, that individual, I mean, you have this to leave or something like that, it actually worsens the situation.
In fact,
they'll die before their time. So these are the situations. But you know, there are opportunities, there are things that can be done with regards to this, like you can do liver transplant, as you said. You can also do chemoembolization, you can do surgical operation, you can also do radio frequency ablation therapy. But that also, you know, all those things, they have criteria. When should you do them?
Yes.
You know,
it depends on the
once passing alone, you will not be able to do it.
Yeah.
So even if you advise you, I mean, you go on your own, I mean, to Senegal, you go on your own to somewhere else. I mean, most of the time, I mean, but they will actually go on their own. The family will actually try and make sure that they actually go on their own. But by the time they go, just better 1 month. Sometimes the patient will actually die there and they have to
So what type of sensitization you need to come very early?
Yes. Wow. So this is why I told you the National Hepatitis Control Program has been doing a lot of work to see how best we can catch these people at the earliest possible time. And that's why a lot of sensitization needs to be done, which health promotion has also been doing with regards to telling people what they need to do and what's the way forward. So one of the things that we need to emphasize on is like all of us should actually have a health checkup once every year.
Yeah.
And check for hepatitis B, check for hepatitis C, check for HIV. So if you have it, as I said, it's not a death sentence because about 80 to 90% can live with the virus for the rest of their life. They can die of something else, but not hepatitis B. Okay? So it's just about 5 to 10%. But coming to us will make sure that we take care of you. If you need treatment, we give you treatment.
Okay.
Okay? So the treatment is not actually a cure, but it actually suppresses the virus.
And it will help you.
Yeah, and it helps you to actually live longer.
For the case of HIV, I mean, I understand most of the people in the Gambia are not willing to go and do their test. Some people, they prefer, okay, I got it.
Let me not know.
Let me not even know. So now, I mean, is there not a way that the hospital can do the test without the individual knowing?
No, the individual has.
No, you know, according to the laws of
consent.
the Gambia, it's like they must give consent.
So what about if the individual is donating blood?
Yeah, so like for blood donation, yeah, that's why it's not like consent, because the consent is more of you are coming voluntarily to actually donate blood.
Yeah.
Okay, so in that situation, it's not a problem. We have to test for everything.
Yeah.
Okay. And they would also be consented, because when you come, they would also, before they do the HIV test, they need to be consented.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they will also consent you. Then once you agree, then you can go.
And also, a lot of people also know when they're pregnant, because when you're pregnant, you have to be tested for HIV, because they're trying to protect the baby.
Yes.
You know, they have to,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
and all of those things. But generally, you know, tests for these things is the famity. Sometimes, like, you're so scared to, like, test for it. And medical doctors, they have a way of, even when it's negative, I don't know why you guys do that, Dr. Biti. Even so negative,
it takes a long time bala you go.
Wax leen ko li negative la wala positive, waaye da ngeen fa dee nekk di cancel borom.
Mané kay indil mali
Dinaka su ko defee borom bu sévère.
Sa waaji dañ àndoon Kanifing hospital.
waaye jéena ba nga loolu cancelling lañ ko oyee.
Cancelling you have to
explain. Nañ la ko wax waaye we have to cancel you first. I'll actually tell you what.
Daf di jël
dañ musoon a dem benn HIV test. Maak sa waaji Bakary Sall.
Waa
Kanifing fii.
Waa
balaa result bi di ñëw. Bakary was very uncomfortable. I know. Very uncomfortable. After Mansana Maria, ma ne ko boy.
Defal ndànka yàlla baax na. Ba pare léegi HIV ñun ñëpp gis nañ ne. You know, doctors yi sax dañ dee wax ne HIV is actually safer nga am HIV than nga am cancer, for example. Doctors have said that, because with the HIV ne la mën a jox garab mu wàcce sa viral load moo gën cancer.
So even if you look, I agree with you, because now HIV is just like any other chronic disease.
It's like any
just
other
like
thing.
Hypertension, just like diabetes.
And
equally, that's how hepatitis should also be.
By right.
Because by right, it's like if you have hepatitis, you know what your status is.
Exactly.
You know, we just monitor you just like any other chronic disease, like hypertension or like diabetes. And if you need medication, we just give you medication. So that's how
the thing is, if you know it early, you will be able to control it. You understand?
Yes.
And you can live very long.
Yes. So this is what we are advocating for. We are advocating for people to actually get screened. Check. I mean, make sure that you know what you have and what you don't have, okay? So that you come to us, if you have anything, then we can actually take care of you, okay? And you can live for the rest of your life. As I said, 80%, 90% of those people who may have hepatitis B are just carriers. And they can live for the rest of their lives without any problem.
So
but we don't want that 10%.
Yes.
That 10%, we don't want them to actually develop liver cancer.
Exactly.
Or
so
liver
time is
cirrhosis,
up almost, but do we have a lot of people specialized hepatologists? Are you the only one?
Not really, because right now we have, we have 2 clinics now. One clinic in actually MRC and the other clinic in FSTH. But now, you know, because Professor Ramonja is also, you know, because right now she's actually on holidays. Not actively practicing. You know, so I'm the only one together with some gastroenterologists in MRC, like Karen and some other people, basically, But we plan to train more people.
Please do, please do. But thank you so much for the amazing work that you're doing with your advocacy and everything. It's very important that the information gets out there, so that, like you said, people with hepatitis B are also supposed to live a normal life, and also test, get vaccinated, get your medications, and then, you know, you get to live a normal life. Thank you so much once again, Dr. Bitte. We'll just go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by Mamudu Gajaga to tell us what is happening in the world of sports.
Money e orange money Johnny weɓini nuldugol mbuɗi mi yetoma joni ida wawi nuldude mbuɗi iwra ko Gambia ɗo yaha Senegal e Q money wallet ma on eyyi ko honno wonɗa e fadde mi yetoma udduto Q money account ma on joni fuɗɗoɗa nuldude mbuɗi e teriɓe ma rewa ɗon ka orange money nder Senegal fi heɓugol hen ko laaɓi ida wawi noddude Q money customer care e 133 Q money suñu kalpe ɗum no yaadi e sartaji.
Opticalia, Gambia's leader in optical care with 5 locations offering the best in visual health. With cutting-edge European technology, Opticalia delivers single vision lenses in just 20 minutes. At Opticalia, we care about our future. Eye exams are free for individuals under 18, ensuring everyone has access to quality eye care. But it's not just about vision. Opticalia also provides advanced audiology services to ensure your hearing health is in the best hands. Our audiology services offer European standard hearing aids and diagnostics, ensuring everyone can hear clearly. Whether it's testing or treatment, you can trust Opticalia for your auditory care. Opticalia offers European standard products, fair prices, and exceptional value all under one roof. Visit Opticalia at the Tropic Shopping Center near Spain-Gambia or call us on 7767-121 or any of our regional branches. Banjul 7767-126, Brikama 7767-123, Farafenni 7767-124, Basse 7767-125. Opticalia, love what you see and hear.
Kiu money aning orange money ye bulodi nyola pour ka kori kio sone yandi ka bonan Gambia banko kang kata Senegal banko kang aning Kiu money wallet eka mune batu imuna fan Kiu money account wala sign pour kadati ka kodoki iterimal anila dimbayal kana aning orange money Senegal ni lafta ku Senegal sotola je Kiu money customer care commandi 133 Kiu money sunyu kalpe nying sartolle bala.
Q Money and Orange Money has just made money transfer easier. Now you can send money from Gambia to Senegal directly from your Q Money wallet. So what are you waiting for? Get your Q Money account now and start sending money to your friends and families through Orange Money in Senegal now. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Your banking the smart way with the new Bank mobile app. Transfer money to any bank account in the Gambia. Top up airtime for all networks. Pay utility bills. Check your account balance and view mini statements. Request for ATM cards. Request for checkbooks and more in a single touch. So, do your banking in a smart way. Do your banking now with Bank mobile app. Every time is banking time. Bank, your investment partner.
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. And Ibrahima, like I said before we went for the break, we are now joined by Momodu Gajaga to update us on what is happening in the world of sports. And there's just a lot of things happening. We've seen the World Cup qualifier, Kenya and the Gambia, 3-1. That was super exciting. I mean, with Kenya, the country is big, so you're like, it's a big team. And then the Gambia coming over to have 3. It was just unbelievable. Before the game started, Gajaga, I was not very hopeful because we've not been really winning. The fact that we didn't go through to the AFCON, I was not expecting such results.
Yeah, so you started very well about Gambia, Kenya. I was going to start with volleyball, but it's all the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Gambia national team playing in the World Cup qualifiers in Group F against Kenya. This is their 7th game in the World Cup qualifiers. It was March day 7. So the Gambia previously had 4 points in the competition in terms of qualifiers because they won a game and drew and lost the rest of the games. Yeah. So this victory against Kenya was hugely important. 1, morale boosting, and 2, it will help the Gambia in terms of their rankings because FIFA does a monthly global ranking for each country, all the 211 member associations. So the more your rankings gets better, it helps in your qualifiers. So if they're also doing the draw for AFCON or World Cup, you will see that. Let's say the top teams, because Senegal are ranked higher, Egypt are ranked higher, Morocco are ranked higher, so they come on top. So in the qualifiers, they would have to play the lesser teams. Let's say the minnows, they will play against the Burundis, they will play against you know,
I never knew that's how it happens.
Yeah, so that's how it happens in football. That is why there are people who says, yeah, but despite Gambia's win, we're not still going to qualify to the World Cup.
Yeah.
But you know, still the win is hugely important.
It's kind of like a moral boost.
Yeah,
like
moral boosting win, and also it still helps in terms of also when you look at Gambia's football for the past few years. Yes, we missed out on the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers for the Morocco edition, and this is World Cup qualifiers. Even eventually Gambia is not going to make it, but if we finish maybe somewhere around third or maybe even second in the group, that could really help the Gambia in terms of future competitions, whether it's through AFCON or World Cup qualifiers for the next draw. Yeah. So we've seen a scintillating performance in the game by Yankuba Minte, who scored and assisted. Musa Barrow also scored and assisted. Yeah. Fantastic game of football, especially in the first half. I think the Gambia could have even scored 5 in the first half. Okay. And then the second half, yes, Kenya made some substitutions. They also increased their energy levels, their competitiveness as well. And they're playing home. Yeah. So the stadium was packed to its rafters. Yeah. And prior to the game, the Kenya coach, Benny McCarthy, former South African international footballer, was talking about how the Gambia is going to find it very difficult in Nairobi. Yeah. They're going to make it hostile for them. That is in terms of support. Yeah. And they will ensure that, you know, they at least have a victory in this game. Yeah. But eventually things turn completely the opposite.
But what did the coach do differently this time? Because I know, you know, he's been under a lot of criticism, you know, for the fact that when he just came, you know, everybody was excited. We've qualified for AFCON 2 times. And now during his time, we couldn't make it. What did he do differently this time that we're able to have this? Did he bring, because I know he brought about 3 young people from the under 20 as well. Did that bring any changes? What do you think?
Yes, that has really helped. So those 3 players, you're talking about
Adama Bojang and the other
Adama Bojang is one of them. And then you have Mahamadou Bajo, who also came through the under-20. Yeah. Seni Sanyang also came through the under-20. And then you have Alaji Sen in the heart of the defense. So this is a player who also came through the ranks. He was playing in the Gambian league and then later graduated, played in the under-20 and before signing a professional contract. Yeah. So these players really, their energy levels were really good in the game. The way they possession, their ball control, their passing. And overall, I think they gave the team that competitive edge. So when it comes to this performance. And Gambia did something special in this game that has eluded them in previous matches, which is to take your chances. We had series of chances in previous games against Comoros. That's the reason why we didn't qualify for AFCON. We missed so many chances. Gambia would be the team, whenever we're playing against our opponent, we will have 3-4 chances and fail to utilize. Or in most cases, maybe we would score 1 and miss 5 chances. But in this game,
we took it all.
Let's say 5 chances came, at least 3 of them were executed.
So let's talk about Kenya. Yeah. How strong is the team?
Not so strong.
Because Gambia winning Kenya 3, I was like, how strong is the team?
Yeah, so it will be funny that Kenya are ranked higher than us in world rankings. That because of number of points and also previous competitions that they played. But currently, the Gambia, because of the pool of players that we have internationally, professionally, who are playing in Europe, some in top clubs, some at least in middle clubs. Most of Kenya's players, let's say maybe about half of the team, play in the Kenya team professional league, and others maybe in other African countries, and then few of them are also playing in Europe. So looking at the quality of players, we are better than them. So I think that has really reflected on the pitch. Even the coach spoke about it post-match after the game. He talked about how Gambia had lots of quality players. One of them, of course, is Yankuba Minte, who is in the form of his life. Prior to this game, he had a man of the match performance against Manchester City, which is a big team in England, big team in the world.
And Musa Barrow, I mean, he just keeps doing it. For me, I'm like, oh, Musa Barrow is getting old, you know? Yeah. But he's still Musa Barrow.
And I think it is about 1 or 2 goals for him to break the record of Asen Cisse in terms of goal scoring for the national team.
Yeah.
And he has also assisted. Assist means you pass the ball and then the other guy scores. So he
So
had lots of
Asen
goals.
Cisse, he's not part of the team anymore?
No, Asen Cisse is injured. He has a knee ligament damage.
Okay.
So he has not been playing for close to 2 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's really bad, but he's recovering well
Okay.
now. Signs really look good that he's going to
Okay,
recover.
let's talk about now volleyball.
Yeah, so the Gambia is the host for the Confederation of African Volleyball Under 18 Developmental Cup Championship.
Yeah.
The competition started on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Saturday was the final. So in that competition, you're talking about teams like Senegal, teams like Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Ghana, Morocco, Egypt, Namibia were all part of the competition, both male and female categories.
Yeah.
So this competition is organized by the Confederation of African Volleyball, also with support from the Olympic Solidarity Fund, and hosted in the Gambia. It's in preparation for the 2026 Youth Olympic Games, which is going to be hosted in Dakar, Senegal.
Nice.
Dakar, Senegal is going to be the host for the 2026 Youth Olympic Games.
Okay.
So most of these players who competed in this competition will be representing their country in the Youth Olympic Games in Dakar.
Okay.
It was highly competitive, beautiful games played, and eventually Gambia won gold in the male category and silver in the female category. The silver category for the female, the women's category, it was Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, who won, their female team won the gold medal in that category, and then Gambia reached the final. So eventually losing to Congo, so that's why they settled for the silver medal. Other countries also did well. Countries like Ghana, Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone beat Nigeria in the competition overall. And if you look at the rankings also, teams like Morocco, Egypt did well. Namibia, they said this is their first time to compete outside their country.
Yeah.
For them, it's an opportunity to develop, to learn, and also possibly in future, this will help them to prepare their team better.
So let's talk about this beach volleyball. How, serious are we as a country when it comes to beach volleyball?
Very serious. We are African champions in 2019. In the entire African continent, Gambia was #1. Seni Jao and Baibabu Jara were the winners at the African Games, which was held in Rabat, Morocco. So, and then aside from that, Gambia has been participating in international volleyball competitions.
Yeah.
Sometimes, going all the way to the quarterfinals, sometimes, reaching the group stage. And also, if you look at it overall, recently in Africa, the team have been doing wonderfully well. So in terms of beach volleyball, Gambia is ranked among at least the top 5 in the continent.
Yeah, we're doing well when it comes to beach volleyball, honestly. And it's actually looking good recently when it comes to sports with basket and everything. So what do you think? Is it that the ministry is putting in more money, or it's just luck that they're having actually good players?
So it's a combination of a lot of things. In as much as the country is struggling with infrastructure, we all know we don't have a playable stadium right now. Our stadium does not have good athletic tracks. Our athletes, if they want to run on a track, they would have to go to Dakar, Senegal to be able to do that. And all those are factors that hinders our performance. But if you look at it generally, teams, I think it has to do with the players. I think it has to do with their coaches, and also the hunger and desire in the players to move to the next level. Because despite all these challenges that I'm talking about, infrastructure,
we are moving.
Yeah, but these players, they want to represent their country. They want to get to a certain level. They want to become professionals. So obviously, I think it's a desire.
And
from
also, Ibrahim Adogo Malade, but I think the media also needs to improve generally. I know it can be expensive to cover these things, but then, when this volleyball you're talking about, for example, it's supposed to be all over, that Gambia is hosting it. You're here, that's why probably some people are aware. And I'm a journalist, that's why I was aware prior. But some people do not even know that we hosted something. Our basketball team is doing well. People are not even aware. If it's not football, it's not nothing. Yeah, and it's sad.
That is true. I think for the media aspect of it, the media did well in terms of promoting this competition. Prior, it's been reported. But it's Gambia. Football is their #1 sport.
Yeah.
So The other sports are not that much popular, despite the media presence. But this competition, fairly, the turnout was good. You know, people come to the beach and watch them. Some casually, because they just came to the beach to relax and enjoy the breeze from the sea. But eventually they saw that, you know, these people are playing
and then they
some
took
sports,
it
and then, you know, they came over to watch. So there are also a few supporters of other countries, like Sierra Leoneans were there to support their team. Moroccans were there with their Moroccan flag, the Moroccans resident in the Gambia.
Nice.
So it's really beautiful.
Well,
overall.
I think as time goes on, with the proper infrastructure, I think we would be there. We are talking of getting a new stadium now, you know.
Yeah, but that's a dream for now.
Yeah,
so
it's just the land
allocated, and then, you know,
nobody knows.
Let's think about how to improve this one to make it playable first.
It's what is available, and it's going to take time for another one to come.
So that one is really good to have a land, to have a plan and all of that. They would look for partnerships and all of those things.
But why are we scared? I mean,
nobody's scared.
But the money is about there. It's not about being scared.
But the reality is, if you can't renovate a stadium for 3 years and maintain it and make it playable, if you tell me that you are going to build a stadium from scratch, I'm going to say, you know what.
So that is all we have time for. So, gentlemen, this marks my final this morning, you know, as I go and pursue my master's. And then, you know, I just want to officially just say a goodbye to our This Morning followers. Thank you so much. It has been an amazing journey being on this program for the past years. This started since 2019, right? But before that, is it 2019? But this is not a total goodbye. It's just me, you know, going to improve myself.
She'll
you know,
be away for a while and she'll be coming back.
Inshallah, you know, have my master's degree and then come back and be able to serve you guys better quality, better human being. Balde ñu balalante ahanak because toroxal na la nak. Wax dëggu yàlla toroxal naa la liggéey dafa métti gajaga ñu baalalante aha because liggéey moom nekk la baalalante aha ñëpp nag korka everybody
tegal ma si 5,000
dinaa tegal $5,000 si liggéey moo métti rek sometimes ñu war a baalalante aha inshallah and then hopefully dem si jaama ñëw si jaama fekkaat fi waa QTV ngeen gën a train jooyal maa ngi xaw a emotional tuuti nag maa ngi xaw a emotional waaye dama muñ su ko defee dem ak jaama ñëw ak jaama ma nekk better person ba pare fekk fi suma colleagues si tamit ñoom tam ñu gën a improve nekk better people su ko defee télé bi jëm kanam inshallah so see you some other time I don't know when bye for now
bye
bye